Anything goes. Hopefully you guys having a great and exceptional day. Today's word of the day is digital nomad. Stands for someone who does their job remotely, traveling from place to place the whole time as a digital nomad. And I chose this word today is because I was on my way to work and there were a multitude of accidents out there. At least three that I know of on major roads and on side roads. And I said to myself, okay, well, it looks like it's going to be a work from home kind of day. And I'm thankful I had that option. A lot of the people that I know that had to sit in hours worth of traffic probably did not have that option. Or if they did, the only option they had was go back home and take a day off with pay or not pay, but it was definitely reminds me of why the pandemic taught us that the world can operate when everybody's at home and from a digital perspective. And then the pandemic taught people, a lot of corporations, that they don't need as much commercial space. But I knew this before the pandemic happened, that they don't need as much commercial space as they used to, because hey, we've seen that the world can operate, we can operate our corporation in an effective manner without everybody being in an overpriced office building that we don't own. So there's no point of us leasing all these spaces anymore like we used to. And we could just lease smaller spaces. Instead of having 10 floors, we have 1 or 2 floors or 3 floors. And then if we do have people come in a couple of days a week, we can treat it like a co-working space, co-working using space where people can have the same desk, but they're just not utilizing that desk on the same day. So, shared desks. And it saves the company money and it saves workers money because they don't have to go to work as much. So they don't have to leave the house as much. Therefore, they're not spending as much money on gas, using public transportation, using toll roads and things of that nature. So to be a digital nomad is a beautiful thing. A lot of people are digital nomads and live in other countries. A lot of people became digital nomads making money just posting content, so they're able to, live in other countries, cheaper countries. They make a decent salary from a United States standpoint, but they live in a place like, say, Colombia, say, Dominican Republic, Mexico. They might live in maybe even live in Nigeria, Ghana, and the cost of living has been cut down tremendously. And the amount of taxes they have to pay has been cut down tremendously. They still have to pay U.S. taxes from a federal perspective, but because they don't have a state address, they don't have to worry about paying any state taxes. So to be a digital nomad, it's like anything else. I think there's pluses and minuses with it, and you just take it with a grain of salt. If it works for you, cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Some people prefer to have to leave the house every day. I leave it at that. So today's quote of the day is by Jay-Z, and I chose this one because since it's the presidential election season, once again, I don't care who you're voting for, I'm not voting, so do what you do. This quote was one of my favorites. He says, "I'm not interested in politics. I have zero interest. I have interest in hope and people." And remember, when your money's right, you don't really have to worry about who's sitting in the office because as long as you're making moves, you're good to go. And the pandemic taught us that. A lot of people immigrating to the United States have taught you that. A lot of people don't have a high school education, can't speak English, but they're making money moves. They're owning houses, they're owning businesses, they're working with friends and families to buy and own assets and reproduce like a freaking economic merry-go-round. So you vote, you don't, you don't. But if you're not making money moves, it doesn't matter who's sitting in the White House, governor's house, or mayor's house. It's all about what you do in your house. So now, do the great thiefy things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you're going to live like a fool. Take care.